Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm gonna take a look at the new nodes, updated nodes of Spreadshop called Adaptive Polygon. So this Adaptive Polygons is actually really quite powerful. I said it many times. This is the Mark III of the node. It's similar to Tissue Addon by Alessandro Zombarelli, but this nodes also does some neat things, and you can see it updating live. So let's say I start with a plain grid. You can see this node now have a lot of options: match longest, donor per phase, repeat last, cycle by index. So the easiest one to try is probably donor per phase and by index. You will see later how this works. So we can see there's the recipient mesh and then the donor mesh. This one have edges and polygon options. What I'm gonna do, I will have two cylinder. Actually, just have a single cylinder, and I'm gonna join. Let's do it like this. With the second cylinder, I will rewire. So instead of facing up, it should be facing the x-axis. So we have two cylinder, and I will simply join them together. Please join. So this is the only thing that's kind of a hassle, but still it's pretty cool that you can do this. So this is like joining the data, and we pass it into Polygon Adaptive and output it as mesh viewer. Hopefully this get a result. Okay, we managed to adapt the cylinder into a plane. Okay, so file, save as, let's call it as AP demo. So adaptive polygons give you this, and with the donor index, we can switch between the two cylinder. Okay, so that should be pretty clear. Let's make this cylinder, make it like this. Okay, cool. So we can offset our cylinder if you like. We can rotate it. So if I rotate it using donor number 2, you can see it's rotating on the face of the plane. So this node is really cool on that because you can use random number and simply plug this into the rotations, and you can have different rotations for each and every cylinder that's being adapted into the grid. Okay, so let's for now just keep it simple, and I want to have some kind of directions so I can see the directions of the cylinder. I can randomize, etc. Okay, so that's cool, that's easy to understand. And we can also, with this version of the node, so this node is like the super power node, you can use the donor index. So you can have multiple donor and you can randomize it. So you can have more than 2. In this case, we only have 2, so we're gonna use random number generator with the integer and lower and higher between 0 and 1. So this will generate random number to control the index. You can see here, right? We have our 2 cylinder. In fact, to make it clearer, I will turn off the cap of the cylinder. So this one is kind of hollow, and if I go solidify, I can plug this there, plug this in there. We have solidify cylinder, and it's become the donor of our grid. Okay, cool. You can do even more. There's polygon rotations. There's a z coefficient. You can randomize that as well if you like. Something like that, right? Let's just make this 0.1 and 2. You can also randomize this. Cool. All right, so let's take a look at other options. We have this donor for face by index. We can cycle. Cycle give you kind of like a grid, look. You can see there's a pattern. So if we increase the number, the cycle will cycles of the donor. So like 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 0, 1. There's a repeat last. Repeat last is actually interesting and useful for building. If you make like a building generators, you know, like it has the beginning and the last. This one will repeat the last. I still don't know how to use it, but there's also option like other options. This one, match longest. I think it's looking at the longest and then we'll adapt to it. Hard to explain, but you just need to try it yourself. So instead of just a flat plane, you can always use something like a box. And with this box, you can adapt polygon like so. So maybe this one, you can see there's a weird thing happening because I accidentally plugged the edge into the donor. I should have turned it off. So let's see if I delete everything. Okay. Oh, we can still see the edges. I don't know why. Let's try plane. Try keeping it simple. Oh, by the way, there's also these options, join and also merge double. That could be handy if you want to join this into the parents. Let's turn on random. Okay, so let's see, get rid of the rotations so we can see clear. Turn off rotations. There's other options like, you know, like there's width coefficient and there's a frame width control. There's an offset for the Z. Probably the easiest to understand if you use box and you subdivide it. And turn on smoothing and plug this as the recipient. Hopefully it's clearer. If I turn this off, use by index. Okay, so back to the simple example. So even this is already pretty cool. Plug this into the Z coefficient, we can randomize the height. So this is what it is for. Let's increase the subdivisions and the size of this. There's this extra options, normal mode, there's map, and there's also face. One is actually respecting doing interpolations, the other one is just looking at the donor face normal. Yeah. See, one is flatter, the other one is bending. Okay, so let's use the, let's turn this off. Okay. And this is the Z offset. Actually, I kind of like it. They're touching like this, touching each other. You can just duplicate it and join them together. You can use Boolean or remesh modifier. Doing a remesh should be pretty fast. And we have this geometry that you can print. Alright, so yeah, that's a quick look at adaptive polygons. Like I said, it's just like a tissue add-on. You're replacing polygon face with a 3D mesh, and it's gonna combine everything. If you can create some kind of chain patterns using adaptive polygons. This is really powerful node of SphereChalk. I will actually, if you are new to SphereChalk add-on, this node is really powerful once you understand how it works, because there are so many potentials here, so many ways to randomize the parameters, and also you have this kind of options. So yeah, well, give it a try yourself, and let's see what you can come out with. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.